Welcome to the topic communication and etiquette. What is communication? What is etiquette? This is what we are going to cover in this session. I was a people manager for close to 7 years, managing a team of about 45 to 50 people. Every time an issue comes, a primary issue comes only because of a communication error or a communication problem. This is what it is important as college students to understand why communication is important and why etiquette is very, very important. We always think communicating is only talking. No, there are 3 elements of communication. One is called as verbal communication, how you talk in terms of language, pronunciation, and communication part of it. The second part of it is called as non-verbal communication. How is your body language? If I come and stand in front of you without talking, what is my body language? What does a body language communicate in terms of non-verbal communication? The third is called as para-verbal communication, which talks about the pitch of my sound, the voice quality of how I really deliver, the audibility of how other person is able to hear what I communicate. This is called as para-verbal communication. So communication normally is segregated into verbal, non-verbal, and para-verbal. Let me ask you a question. If I want to really rate this on 100, what will each category of communication fall into? If this question is posted to many students or corporates, majority of them says the major chunk of this 100% pie, the verbal communication will occupy. The 1/4 will be our body language or non-verbal communication, and very less percentage would be voice and paraverbal communication. But let's look at the statistics. Projector. Yeah. So now when we this is a survey done by a very, very famous psychologist, and then he classified the communication into 3 parts. So he said we have 55% of the sphere targeting on non-verbal communication. What do you mean by non-verbal communication? This is what your body language talks about. This is what it communicates when you don't talk anything. This is called as non-verbal communication. The paraverbal communication in terms of how you deliver, the pitch, the modulity, the voice quality, and the tone, everything contributes to 38%, and only 7% depends upon your language skills. So everybody thinks communication meaning language skills. No, a 7% only occupies in terms of verbal communication. The most important part, where 55% of it occupies, is called as non-verbal communication. This is a primary understanding that each one of us have to really understand. If we go and really stand in front of the interviewer and does not talk, we are still communicating. When we don't talk, the interviewer might think that we are listening. The interviewer might think that we are not focusing. The interviewer might think that we are just hearing and not listening. It may be perceived any way, but still we are communicating. Even when we are not talking, we are communicate. So we cannot not communicate. All time, at every point of time, we are communicating. That is the importance of communication. And most of the world's team challenges are only because of communication. So how do we really address communication issues, and how can we really make it effective? If we are able to develop our students from the communication point of view and make them aware and understand the skills of communication, I'm sure they will become better corporate citizens in the professional world of corporate. This is what communication talks about. Okay, for me the most important 2 aspects apart from the verbal, non-verbal and paraverbal communication is something called as the power of asking. Power of asking. Many times we don't ask, and that's why we don't get. But if we use this power of asking, we get whatever we ask. Many times we fear of asking. We fear of asking to anybody because of 2 fundamental things. One, we assume that the other person will mistake us. Second, there is a fear in each one of us saying that, what if I am wrong? That's why we don't ask questions. Very similar to the monkey story here. An example of this monkey story, there are about 5 monkeys, and the first monkey is trying to take up this particular banana. And any time this monkey is going to take up this particular banana, the scientist from the outside cage showers cold water on this monkey. Shivering for the cold water, this monkey will not take up the banana and climbs down. Now the second monkey tries to take up the banana. When the second monkey is trying to take up the banana, the first monkey pulls the second monkey, fearing that there would be a cold shower. Now the third monkey is trying to take up the banana. The other two monkeys pull the third monkey. The fourth monkey is trying to take up the banana. All the other three monkeys pull the fourth monkey. The same happens to the fifth monkey. Now the scientist does a very interesting step. They replaced the first old monkey with the first new monkey. At this point of time, when the first new monkey is going and taking up the particular banana, the old monkey pulls down the first new monkey. Now the scientists replace the second old monkey with the second new monkey, the third old monkey with the third new monkey, the fourth old monkey with the fourth new monkey, the fifth old monkey with the fifth new monkey. And now they have stopped showering cold water. So even at this point of time, none of the monkeys is actually going and trying to take up the banana, assuming that there would be a cold shower. Aren't the monkey story relevant to most of us in our day-to-day situations? We assume a lot of things. We take things for granted. We don't ask questions. Because we don't ask questions, we don't get clarity. We don't get clarity. We mistake many decisions. So we insist on the power of asking and how to develop that particular quality. When you ask, you get or you don't get. But when you don't ask, you don't get. So which is better, asking or not asking? That's what we talk about, the power of asking. The second important aspect of communication, we talk about listening. How it is important to listen to others before communicating. Listening and hearing are two different things. When somebody is speaking to me, I am quiet and other people think that I am listening to them, but my mind could be somewhere else. This is called as hearing. But when we are really in a position to understand others, when we step into others' shoes and help them to understand themselves, this is where we try to listen. And once we are able to listen from the other person's point of view, we are able to communicate much more effectively. So we do a lot of examples, lot of exercises to understand the power of asking and the power of listening in the communication program. The second part of the program is called as etiquette. And etiquette is a very important one. For example, we have email etiquette, we have interview etiquette, we have dining etiquette, we have driving etiquette, we have general etiquette. When a person who wants to really attend the interview steps into the room, and if he finds a lady and a gentleman sitting, whom should he wish? That is an etiquette. When somebody responds to an email, and though I don't have information, how should I respond to him back? That is an etiquette. When I'm driving in a hospital, when the whole thing is silent and I'm blocked by somebody else's car, should I honk or should I not? That is also another etiquette. I'm having a dinner with a group of corporate executives and something falls down from my plate. And should I take it or not take it? To understand that is an etiquette. So we tell them an etiquette, how it is important to be a professional. Remember, the basic necessity of a professional is to follow etiquette, which most of the people today are unaware of it in the corporate world. This is what we will educate you in this communication and etiquette program. Thank you.